Good evening, everybody. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome tonight to the Circassian Education Foundation Party for Fundraising. Tonight's special because tonight marks 10 years of these parties that help our community, which the CEF helps, raise scholarship money for undergraduate students in our community. We'd also like to thank the Circassian Benevolent Association for letting us host these parties and helping the betterment of our community. For the first speaker of the evening, I'd like to introduce Mr. Farouk Kazrash.
دي نخشها دي شبهها دي قوشها صالحها دي حشا تعبها Circassian Education Foundation يتكا سلام قوابو قفدوخ حمكو دو خيركا يغبسو أدي قري يغبسو Ladies and gentlemen, our dear guests and friends, I would like to thank you all for coming tonight and share this fundraising party for the scholarship program of the Circassian Education Foundation. Your continuous support has been unbelievable. Your support gives us the strength and will to do more and more every time. I can't thank you enough for coming tonight, and I promise you will have a good time as always. There are 5 basic programs the CF deals with. First, which is the pillar of the programs, and that is the scholarship. I will go into more details. Through the slideshow. The second one is the Circassian online dictionary. Also, you will see it on our website. The third one is the college saving matching program, and that is a very, very important program for our children, and we would like the parents to take advantage of it and start saving for their children from now. Any kids under age of 13 is eligible if parents open up a 529 federal account and put up to $1,000, the CEF will match it up to $1,000. Tonight we have a couple of students who applied, and they will be awarded with checks. The fourth one is the Endowment Fund. I would like to report that we already have over $100,000 in that particular fund, separate from the scholarship program. The fifth and final program the CF deal with is what we call supership. That is a $5,000 scholarship for 4 years for a student who will be accepted at the top 20 colleges and universities in the United States. Any student who will be accepted in these top 20 universities would be getting $5,000 each year for 4 years. Now, facts about the foundation in the past 9 years. This year, your foundation is entering its 10th year of continuous service to our community and our youth. Over the past 9 years, a total of 399 scholarships. 399 scholarships. Were given to Circassian students attending universities and colleges in the U.S. A total of $458,000. $458,000 have been given to the student so far. All this money, by the way, came from you, from the community, and I can't thank you enough for your support. The scholarship program is a significant sustained achievement in 9 years, entering its 10th year. We got fantastic support from the community, as I said, and the community friends as well. I mentioned earlier the college saving matching grants for children. The CEF started this program 5 years ago to encourage parents to save for college. Children from 0 to 13-year-old are eligible. It used to be from 0 to 6, but we changed it so we can reach to a bigger audience of our community. And I urge every family who have children to take advantage of this program and open a 529 federal saving program for your kids, and we will match it up to $1,000. Of course, in addition to applying online, getting that certificate from the bank, there's a small application online on our website, which is circassianfoundation.org, and there's an application, a small application, very simple. Parents have to fill out that application and submit it in order for them to receive the grant. Late start on college savings, how 529 plan can help. There's a very good website that gives you excellent information about the scholarship program, and you will see it on the screen. It's onlineschools.org/529 saving-plan. I recommend every parents go and see this website. You will have all the information you need about this 529 program. As I mentioned earlier also, any student accepted in undergraduate in one of the top 20 universities in the US will receive $5,000 a year for 4 years. That's what we call the super scholarship. The Circassian online dictionary, it's in Circassian language, English, Arabic, Russian, German. I would recommend you visit the website. It's on the website. The dictionary is composed by Dr. Omar Shabsig from Syria, and secretarial work by Mrs. Vivian Toume. The Circassian Online Dictionary major contribution came from Dr. Jawad, the late Dr. Jawad Idris. God bless his soul. Editorial board of the Circassian Dictionary are Dr. Omar Shabsig, Dr. Adil Abdussalam, Mr. Qadir Naqwa, and Mrs. Majida Hilmi. Hot news: Education Endowment and High Quality School Project. On the road to $1 million endowment, we have reached 100,000. Our goal is 1 million. We have the first 100,000. Strategic planning for the future. Continuous and improve the scholarship program. Continue and expand the college saving matching program. Grow the educational endowment fund. Other educational projects to be determined. Exciting opportunity to serve the community and help the young generation. Get involved with the CEF and its committees. Contact any member of the board of directors and express your suggestions and interest to work with the CEF. Visit us on circassianfoundation.org, and thank you very much. Enjoy your evening.
Is everybody having a little bit of fun yet? Come on, let's get excited. Come on. The room's filling up, and we have a lot in store tonight. We have a few performances, musical performances, dance performances. We have a dance competition, which kids in our community, probably your own kids, your nieces, nephews, they put these dances together to win some money tonight. So let's get excited for that. Some of them are in this room. Let's give them a nice loud clap. So right now, I'd like to introduce the CBA president, Mr. Sam Mirza, and I'd also like for all of us to... Okay, well he's not here, but let's give him a little round of applause for helping us and encouraging the CEF. It's okay, because now we get to watch the performance, which is what everybody really likes to do. So let's wait a few minutes. Maybe everybody could start pouring themselves some drinks, getting excited. If anybody has their, their little schedule in front of them, let's go over it. Let's get ready for the first performance of the night, the Narts Dance Ensemble.
Let's dance!
So every year, the CEF likes to spotlight members of our community who have achieved greatness in their field of work. This year, presenting that person, we actually have their student here to present them. So, can I get everybody to give a nice round of applause to say Kaouch?
In the next segment of this program, we would like to present the 2014 Outstanding Career Achievement Award. Dr. Rima Tahir is a senior university lecturer at the College of Architecture and Design at NJIT, and is a part-time instructor at the NJIT Department of Civil Engineering, Civil and Environmental Engineering. She is a licensed practicing civil and structural engineer with her own consulting firm in New Jersey, named Tahir Engineering. Dr. Tahir earned her Bachelor's of Civil Engineering degree from the Institut National des Sciences Appliquées in 1982. She earned her Master's of Civil Engineering degree from the École Nationale de Ponts et Chaussées, ENPC, Paris, France, in 1983. She also earned her Doctorate in Civil Engineering with a specialty in Building Technology from ENPC in Paris in 1986. Dr. Tahir is an active member of the American Society of Civil Engineers, and she is currently president of the North Jersey Society of Civil Engineers. And she is currently the president of the North Jersey chapter of Structural Engineering Institute, ASC. She has practiced civil, geotechnical, and structural engineering for many years. Dr. Tahir has also practiced in some building technology research, especially in the field of building design for high wind and hurricanes, and she has several published articles on the subject. In the aftermath of the January 2010 earthquake in Haiti, she prepared a document for Architecture for Humanity about best building practices for hurricane and earthquake-prone areas, which was posted on the website of ACH and used in the reconstruction efforts. She also cooperated with wind researchers at Tokyo Polytechnic Institute in Japan to help develop and translate a brochure for UNESCO to better prepare nations for the hurricane season. She was invited to speak on the topic of building design for the risks of hurricanes and earthquakes at a conference organized by the Inter-American Development Bank and the Chilean Ministry of Education in 2010 in Santiago, Chile, and at the annual conference of construction specifications in Canada in Montreal in May of 2011. In 2007, Dr. Tahir was invited by the Office of Senator Robert Menendez to participate in a conference on flooding in New Jersey and to be part of a panel of experts at this conference. In 2003, Dr. Tahir lectured on her research at the Wind Engineering Research Center at the Tokyo Polytechnic University in Tokyo, following an invitation by TV. Dr. Tahir teaches some courses of structural design and building technology at NJIT, including a course on design of highway bridges. She was a recipient of the NJIT Teaching Excellence Award back in 1999. Dr. Tahir also taught at the City University of New York, the City College School of Architecture, William Patterson University School of Science, and the Passaic County Community College Department of Math and Engineering. She is the author of 2 published books in structural technology. Now please, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the recipient of the 2014 Outstanding Career Achievement Award, Dr. Rima Tahir.
One of my best students. He's a straight A student from College of Architecture at NJIT, and I think his family should be very proud of him. We have another Circassian student at NJIT in architecture, Ali Turan. I don't know if he's here tonight. He's also another straight A student, and we should all be proud of him. Thank you. I'm very glad to receive this award. I wish wish to thank the president of the CEF, Mr. Farouk, and all the CEF members, not just for this award, but also for the important contribution to education in our community. I also wish to thank my friends and relatives who came to support me today. It means a lot to me. I just would like to say a few words to the young Circassians and stress the importance of education and higher education. In today's modern world, we cannot really get ahead in life without a college education. You cannot put a price on education. You cannot put a dollar amount price on education because it is truly priceless. The university degree will not just help you secure a higher paying job and a better position in society, it will actually help shape your whole life and hopefully also make you a better person in general. Achieving higher education is not an easy task though. It takes a lot of hard work and perseverance. Small failures are to be expected along the way. You should not get discouraged by the setbacks. You should not give up. You should set yourself some education goals and then simply continue to work hard towards achieving them. Thank you very much, and thank you for all those who are present today.
I would like to ask the board members to join me and present the plaque to Dr. Rima Taher. Dr. Taher, on behalf of the Circassian Education Foundation, I would like to present you with this plaque. The plaque reads, Circassian Education Foundation, Outstanding Career Achievement Award, presented to Dr. Rima Taher for her relentless pursuit of education, inspiring professional achievements, and her highly successful career. Saturday, June 7, 2014.
Thank you, Rima Taher, and thank you, Saif. Next, I'd like everyone to get excited. We have another dance performance by the Narts Dance Ensemble. If we could all have a seat. Let's have a round of applause to get them in. and you guys are starting to get a little bit more excited. We still have dinner. We have Adam Supad singing a beautiful little Circassian song for us. We have the auction, we have the raffle, drums of fire, and all of that. We'd like to introduce our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker is a member of our community who is here to encourage and inspire our community, inspire our kids, inspire all of us to excel in our careers and excel in society. We have Deputy Warden Albruce Besmuk. He's been in the law enforcement career for 25 years, started out as a corrections officer, became lieutenant, captain, and then deputy warden in 2011. He's also worked as a U.S. Marshal and graduated from William Patterson and went to school to Rutgers in Newark, which I know a lot of you kids here have gone there. And he also graduated Honors Society. If we could please welcome Deputy Warden Albruce Besmuk. Thank you for being here.
Well, one thing's for sure, this party doesn't get started till the dance group comes out. So my recommendation to the board is let's start it with the dance next time. Everybody's electrified, energized. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, CF board, volunteers, and the Circassian community. I am a newly retired deputy warden of the Sheriff's Department. And I'm privileged, humbled, and honored to be part of this extraordinary event. Thank you for your warm reception, and I would like to convey my gratitude and appreciation to the CEF board for graciously inviting me here tonight. And one other thing is I promise to make this as swift as possible because I wouldn't want to be in the way of good food and more entertainment. I would like to make this presentation in honor of our ancestors, our elders, and our grandparents, and our parents. In honor of my grandfather, Supri Shoaib Paragon, a renowned artist, mentor, and educator. And of my grandfather, Abdul Hamid Basmuk, renowned for his loyalty and honorable duty in public service. And in honor of our parents, who one day dared to venture to America, a foreign but inviting country filled with dreams and new prospects. They are the true pioneers. So I stand before you on the shoulders of giants, and therefore my accomplishments are secondary to theirs. In the year 1851, a great Russian novelist, Leo Tolstoy, while serving in the Russian military, was dispatched to the Northern Caucasus. During his tour, he happened to come in contact with a fighter by the name of Haji Murad. Tolstoy was so taken by the courage of the Caucasian warrior and the people of the Caucasus that he secretly wrote a novel about the life of Haji Murad. Of course, this novel was posthumously published decades later, as Tolstoy most likely may have been executed had the novel come out earlier. In this famed novel, Tolstoy begins by describing a thistle plant and compares it to the Caucasian people. A thistle is a beautiful, blooming flower protected by thorns on all sides, underneath the leaves and on the petals. A beautiful plant guarded by its natural defense. Tolstoy describes how he meticulously struggles to remove the thistle from its root. And although he was careful, the thorns nonetheless cut his hand. Soon after, he becomes remorseful over needlessly picking and destroying such a beautiful flower. As he traveled onward, he once again comes upon another thistle. This one missing limbs, standing amidst piles of muddied and less fertile land. Tolstoy spoke of how it seemed that the wheel of a carriage had trodden over it and severed part of its body. yet the flowers still bloomed. This one flower stood in the wake of great odds and refused to lay down and die. We as a community stand here in this festive hall with unbound potential. For our ancestors, our grandparents, and our parents had the same resiliency of this Caucasian thistle flower. Therefore, we are the recipients of a gift, and as a result, we have been granted opportunities and the empowerment to be as we choose. And now we must be the conveyors of this gift and relay it to our youth. Decades ago, the Irish playwright George Bernard Shaw wrote that youth is wasted on the young. He must have had teenagers, I guess. Obviously, Mr. Shaw was referring to the amount of time it takes a youngster to attain experience, knowledge, wisdom, and skill. And this notion is reiterated in our own Constitution. For many of our public office positions have a minimum age requirement. We all go through this rite of passage trying to find our way and struggling to fit in. And organizations like the CEF and the contribution of education enables us to navigate this path much easier. I feel education is the great equalizer. By virtue of pursuing a broad education, an individual may prove Mr. Shaw wrong. This is why the CEF and all their endeavors are so important. Organizations such as the CEF are a representation of the village partaking in the development of the child. It does take a village to raise a child. We are the community, and the community is the CEF. Great are those that pursue education. Greater are those that give others the opportunity to pursue education. And the greatest accolades go to those that create an organization that helps individuals attain an education. Therefore, the organization becomes a legacy. And so I applaud the CEF and all its accomplishments. There is likely no other more selfless act than the act of community service. I've had a career that spanned 25 years of public service with diverse positions from officer to K-9 to U.S. Marshal to CSI, and ending with the culmination of administrative positions. Yet I do not compare to the selfless act of the volunteer. For the volunteer does not get paid. The volunteer's only reward is to observe the blossoming of a new thistle. A reward that money cannot emulate. So we must acknowledge and hold these individuals in high regards. Please continue to embrace the hard work of all the dedicated volunteers that you have here tonight. Now, I did take the liberty of listing a few helpful hints for the prospective students. Number one, listen to your parents. Now, being a father of 3 boys, I had to put number 2 as listen to your parents. Number 3, and if your mother and father offer you different suggestions, listen to your father. Now, I'm only kidding about that one. I have to make sure you're listening to me here. Number 4, life is not a carousel. It has ups, it has downs, and therefore it's similar to a roller coaster. Just like the quote says, you cannot direct the wind, but you can adjust your sails accordingly so that you catch enough of the wind to move on. You must redirect and reinvent yourself so that you can recapture the moment. Do not allow a detour to stall your progress. In my own personal story, my father had a heart attack when I was 16, and that altered my life forever. I had to quickly find a job that paid well, and I had to work and attend school simultaneously at the age of 16. By redirecting my plan and through the support of family, I was able to succeed. Number 5, complement your education by using diverse methods. Utilize the library, big bookstores, the web, newspapers, magazines, documentaries, and don't forget talking to your elders. Don't merely interject into a conversation as number 6, just to hear yourself speak. Interject to add something of substance. Number 7, be confident and don't take yourself too seriously. We are all important, however we are all replaceable. Unless, of course, it's Farouk doing the auction. I don't know if we can replace him. Don't be condescending, but be approachable. Be someone that people like to converse with. Mentor others is number 9. For this selfless act will only strengthen your own character. Number 10, you should acknowledge the fact that you begin to learn from the day you are born, and you are still learning while you are on your deathbed. After 25 years of service, I see myself and perceive myself as a work in progress. Number 11, plan but don't dwell in the planning phase for long. You must eventually pull the trigger in order to hit your target, before your target is no longer before you. My father used to listen to me attentively, to my plans, and then casually say, okay, that's the plan, but what do you intend on doing about it? We all have the same amount of time in a day. Be somebody that utilizes their time constructively. Minutes are the golden nuggets of life. And number 13, and my final hint, or a recommendation for prospective students. And finally, all cultures make a positive contribution to society. Analyze and emulate the appropriate contributions. For example, America is keen on the importance of rights of all individuals. Of course, we must embrace such paradigms. In 1837, Edmund Spencer published Travels in Circassia. I have listed some of the excerpts describing the Circassians and their charitable ways. As Edmund Spencer writes, the poor man never cries at the door of the rich in vain. He's describing the way the Circassians were at that time. The orphan is provided for by the nearest relative as their own children. If a man's house is burnt, the neighbors will help him build a new one. If he loses his cattle, the villagers will offer assistance until he can repay them. I surmise that the apple does not fall far from the tree. Our very ancestral traditions are in accord with our adoration of the CEF and its endeavors. Volunteer service is an innate part of our history. Furthermore, the uttering of the word read in the beginning of our sacred scriptures reiterates the importance of education. In conclusion, I thank you for this opportunity. It has been a humbling experience. Of course, I am thankful to the Sheriff Burdick and the Sheriff's Department for all the opportunities granted to me in this great nation of ours. And I would be remiss if I did not thank my parents, my family, and because I got to go home, my wife, but that's not the only reason, who at certain times, she had to ride on the roller coaster with me during them down times also. And right now in this room, I see many blooming thistle flowers present here today. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, recently retired Deputy Warden Eldridge Besno. God bless your father for raising such an amazing member of society, and thank you for inspiring all of us tonight. So now with dinner for your musical pleasure, I'd like to introduce Mr. Maurice Shadid. So we still have a lot planned for tonight. We have the dance competition, by 4 young little groups of kids who choreographed the dances themselves. We have a young singer for tonight. Adam! Yeah, Adam! Yep, Adam. We have more live performances. We have the auction, the raffle, drums of fire. But before we get to all of that, let's give a nice big round of applause to Adam Helmi Suhad for being brave enough to sing a beautiful song for all of us. Okay, Adiga Nissa by Adam Helmi Suhad. From the audience? Thank you, everybody.
Good evening, everybody. We're happy to see you here in the evening for the support of our group, the CAF. And I want to talk a little bit about the Supreme Scholarship. As you know, there are about 20 universities, the Ivy League, the best colleges and universities in the United States. So any student will have that option to get into to be accepted in any of these colleges. He will get $5,000 and every year for about 4 years. And please, So the other thing I want to talk to you about, like we're trying to build a network of all health provider, Circassian health provider all over the world, the international health provider, and we need from you guys, if you know anybody like a medical doctor, a nurse, or physical therapist, to support us and give us the name or the address or the phone number so we can contact these people. We have about people from Adigay, from Dubai, and some other part of the world that are already coming to be in part of the network. So if you have any names, please support it to us. And I want to thank you all for coming, and thank you for the evening for being with us. Thank you very much.
So now for Maghrib, we're going to take a short 15-minute break. If anybody would like to leave and go pray. If I could have a big round of applause for Mr. Hassan Agha. He's going to discuss with us the updates on the Educational Endowment Project, which Mr. Hassan Agha works on. Dr. Shanziwar Hajo and Mr. Marwan Shola, they all work on them. And Dr. Hassan Agha is going to be the one to discuss all of the new updates with you. Round of applause, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, everybody. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. It is my honor and privilege to stand in front of you here and to present the new CEF initiatives. Our community is rich with successful and talented individuals. If you look around the room is filled with doctors, engineers, successful businessmen, and successful individuals. Earlier tonight, we recognized Dr. Rima Taher for her outstanding career. We also heard from our keynote speaker, Deputy Warden Aldrus Basmut. So the question is, what can we do to ensure that in 10, 20, 30, or even 100 years, a simple individual like myself stands in a room filled with talented individuals from our community and say, I'm humbled and privileged. The road to success, in my opinion, is simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. It starts by engaging, mentoring, motivating, and inspiring our kids at an earlier stage to pursue their higher education. There is no price on education, as Dr. Rima said earlier. But we also have to do our part. We have to start saving for their college. The earlier, the better. And we have to pursue So I was trying to say earlier, the road to success is very simple. It's not easy, but it is simple. We start from engaging, monitoring, motivating, and inspiring our kids at an earlier stage. We have to save for them. The earlier, the better. And we have to pursue a solid, high-quality pre-college education for them. That is important for them to ace their SATs, their GMAT, which will make them eligible to more scholarships, more grants, more funding, and of course, distinguished high-quality higher education. For the last decade, the CEF was helping by providing scholarships. As we saw earlier, Almost 400 scholarships was given in the last decade, totaling $500,000. The CEF also established the college saving matching grants, and tonight they announced their top university fellowship. But we need to do more, because we have many challenges ahead. And probably the biggest challenge is the financial. I want you to look at this chart very carefully. This is what the federal government is using to assess the eligibility of any grants and scholarship. So if a family of 4 is making $24,000, they are considered above or at the poverty level, which entitles them to some grants and scholarship. If the same family is making $36,000, that is 150% above the poverty level. It will be very hard for that family to get any grants. And if that family is making $48,000, it's almost impossible, because they are making 200% of the poverty level. That makes them rich in the eyes of the federal government. Now, are these numbers realistic? No. Many organizations, they disagree. The Economic Policy Institute, which is a very respectable organization, they said they surveyed thousands upon thousands, even millions of American families to determine the adequate living standards. And what they mean by that, they mean by you can live comfortably, not rich, just from paycheck to paycheck. I used their calculator online. And for a family of 4, 2 parents and 2 kids, you need around $82,000 to live comfortably. Again, not rich. If we look closely to the numbers, they divide the numbers for us, for taxes, for housing, for other necessities. 3 things are missing from this chart: emergency funding, retirement, and college saving. That's why it is very important to take it to the next level. And that's why the CEF is going to introduce the CEF Education Endowment projects. These projects are dedicated to breaking the link between our family income and the educational achievement that our children can fulfill and make the most of their talents. 2 projects right now. The CEF Endowment Fund, and we are seeking $1 million, and a high-quality school that in the future, inshallah, in God willing, we will be able to fund and establish. So that's all fine, but how can we fund these projects? The CEF has been doing outstanding job in fundraising. So we're going to maintain that. We're going to enrich it. And we're going to expand by going online, by harnessing the power of social media. But we're also missing on a big portion of the funding. Many of us work for companies that they match the donation to charities. We're going to try to pursue that too. And most important, many public and private companies, they establish foundations. And those foundations, their sole purpose is to give grants and scholarship to other non-profit foundations or organizations whose core purpose is to fund their communities. That's very important. If you look at the number of organizations, it's outstanding. It's enormous. And the fund starts from $25,000 a year to almost $500,000 each foundation. We found 2 foundations so far, and we are pursuing with them. But to do that, we need your help. Because these companies, these foundations, when they give money, they want to see how that money is being used, how the community in general is benefiting from that fund that is being. So having said that, we want you to get involved with the CEF and its committees. We want you to take advantage of the CEF college saving matching plans. That is for you and for your kids. We want you to participate and promote the CEF activities and events. We want your suggested ideas. If you hear about something, let us know. We will follow up. And most important, share with us the impact of the CEF on your children's education. To our student who receives scholarships from us, please share your success story with us, because that's what we need. And the impact that the CEF had on achieving your success. We want you also to give back to the community, volunteer back to the CEF. And we want you to help our young children, monitor them, help them, inspire them by sharing your success stories. Before I go to the next slide, I want to share a story with you. It's probably a couple of minutes. Almost 10 years ago, my team was awarded one of Microsoft's prestigious awards. We went to this big conference in Orlando, and Steve Ballmer at that time, he used to be the CEO of Microsoft, he presented the award to us. It's for excellence in innovation for business improvement and automation. So I came back, said, well, now I'm Mr. Automation. I can automate everything. In my company, we have a foundation that grants scholarships to engineers. By the way, I work for the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, if everybody wants to know. So we have a foundation that gives grants. So I called the guy who's responsible, and his name is Phil, and I said, Phil, every year you receive thousands of applications. I can help you. I'm Mr. Automation. I can automate that for you. And Phil said, Hassan, book a trip to DC and come. I'm gonna let you to be part of the committee who grants grants, so you see what we do. So we start looking at all these, thank you, but that's not the story. We started looking at all the applications, and they look at everything from the student achievements. But the most important piece was the write-up. Why I want to be an engineer. And I remember this applicant. He was born and raised in the United States. His parents originated from South America. He was in his freshman year. And he said, I want to be an engineer because I went back to South America, to the village where my parents from. It's a remote village in the middle of nowhere. And they don't have even clean water. So I start volunteering to have some clean water accessible to them. I want to be an engineer so I can research in water technology and make running water accessible to all these villages. So anyway, to make the story short, we granted him the scholarship and he went back. Years later, ASME launched a new initiative called Engineering for Change, where how to use engineering to change the life of people. I'm sorry, excuse me. And that applicant, he volunteered, he spearheaded projects in South America. He designed some of those small piping projects, and he managed to secure funding from big corporations through his Engineering for Change, and helped thousands and thousands. He sent us a letter back, and the letter said, in a brief, thank you for inspiring me to help others. This scholarship gave tens of thousands of water, clean running water. When we received the letter, I remember Phil, he retired, he left ASME a couple of years ago, but I remember he starts crying. And he said, this is what scholarship and funding is all about. It's about investing in the dreams of our students and inspire them to live to their potential. And this is what we are doing tonight. This is what we want you to do. We want you to open your hearts and donate and volunteer, because we are investing in the dreams and the potential of our students. That's what this night is all about. I want to leave you with the CEF mission statement. I'm not going to read it, it's for you to read, but I want to highlight the last part, what it says. It shall specifically emphasize the inspiration and support of children and youth toward higher education. You cannot put price on higher education, because when our students succeed, our community succeeds. Thank you and God bless.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We have a dance competition for couples. I distributed all the ballots. If you're a ticket holder and you don't have a ballot, let me know. Let's bring the first team in, Team Sammy Samko and Danny Katao. by them. Knox Dance Ensemble did not participate. So this was an individual effort. I urge everybody not to vote until you watch the 4 teams. Although one of them could be your son or your cousin. Let's bring the next team in. Team 2, Bella Ishak and Alexandra Awari. Just a reminder, we should not vote until we see all 4 teams. We have next team, team number 3, Noor Idris and Almoj Aloush. finally, we have the most experienced team. They've been dancing with the Arts Dance Ensemble at least 25 years, each of them. So, ladies and gentlemen, Ahmed Ishaq and Bimar Ishaq. Ladies and gentlemen, you have 30 seconds to make your votes. We're going to collect the ballots in 30 seconds. Make your vote so I can collect the ballots. Thank you very much.
For the next performance, if we could please ask for complete silence. If your kids have any of those shakers, maybe for a few minutes you can take them away. And pay very close attention because we have an amazing international violinist. Thank you. His name is Enrique Rodriguez. Now let's invite. Just a little announcement from his father here.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to come here and to entertain you this evening. Those dances were awesome. I mean, starting from the older generation right to those kids out there. So there is talent in your community. And, I want to thank the CEF for what they are doing to bolster your kids. It's every dream for every parent to see their child scale new heights, heights that they were not able to achieve. And so the kids that are doing it, great for you and awesome to the parents. Without any further ado, I would like to introduce my son, Enrique. He will be performing with his collaborator and accompanist, Craig Ketter, the two of them. A little bit of information on Craig. Craig is a very accomplished soloist, pianist. He's traveled pretty much all over the world, and he presently, one of his jobs is that he accompanies artists from the Metropolitan Opera in New York. So we are very grateful that Craig is here with us today. My son Enrique, we came to know just yesterday, was accepted in the prestigious College of Juilliard, where he will do his 3 years. For tonight's entertainment, we have 3 pieces. based on gypsy folk music, music that you will enjoy, music that you will love. The first piece that Enrique will perform is Zardis. It's a composition by an Italian composer, Vittorio Monti. It was written in the year 1904. It's a well-known folk piece from Hungary. It was originally composed for the violin, the mandolin, and the piano. The piece has 7 different sections. Each section is different and has a different tempo. So enjoy this first piece. Thank you. he needs just a minute to wipe his hands, his palms. The next piece, the final piece for this evening, is called The Common Fantasy. Once again, it's another piece written by Sarasate, and it is based on the opera called The Common that was composed in 1883. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, once again for this opportunity. Sean, Farouk, these are the only two gentlemen I know and who I have communicated with, but you are an amazing community. So,
may I have your attention, please? Again, I would like to thank Collins and his family and Enrique and Greg for coming and sharing this evening with us. We enjoyed it. We have a great time. Collins and Enrique, Greg, thank you very much. Thank you. We have a couple of guests, some of them from overseas. Mr. Askar and his family were here from Kafkas. And also we have Mr. Farouk Abaza and family visiting from Abu Dhabi. A special thank to Mr. Elkar. I called him and I invited him to come and he came. I appreciate it even though he was very busy. Thank you very much, Elkar, for coming. Thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, so now we have two more events before the night is over. And we're going to start it off with Drums of Fire by Furqan Abayhan, Timur Jato, Cenk Nevruz, Ali, sorry, I don't want to murder your name, but Ali Tajolu, and Umar Jan Tajolu.
number 4 and number 3. Something's ringing here, hold on please. So in 4th place and 3rd place are team 1 and 3, Sami Sabko, Danny Katao, Noor Idris, and Albruz Alosh. And they win $100 for each team. Team number 2, drum roll please. Team winner of the prize for for the 2nd place is Bila Ishak Alexandra Awani. That gives Ahmed Ishak and Bibas Ishak place number 1. And they win $300. And Team Tapuno will get $200. Congratulations.